Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Tash Talk. I'm Karen from KarenTash.com, and this is my new series where I talk about stuff because I am doing this, content creation for 2025. It's an experiment. We'll see what happens. Maybe people will watch, maybe they won't. Maybe they'll get nothing out of it and it'll be over. Or maybe I just enjoy looking at myself in a video and it's just that's all it is. I don't know. I will be tapping into my Social Security in about I don't know. Let's see, March, April, May, June. So 4 or 5 months, and I will have more money then because I'm right now living on a pension, and it was all good until I need to start saving some more money for my taxes, which are a lot this year because I had gotten a bonus last year for retiring. And so the situation is we're on an austere budget where I might even lose weight because I can't really spend too much more money on food because it's the only thing I can cut. And I'll be fine. I'll be fine. However, what would be really cool is selling some artwork or having some sort of viral video, or I don't know, or nothing, or just do what I'm doing and it's perfectly fine. And I'm happy. So, anyways, today I'm wearing my Coach t-shirt that matches my Coach leather skirt that looks like something that a superhero would wear. I totally love it. I was thinking I might sell this skirt on Poshmark, but because it's not really my go-to red, but it's beautiful and it's got an elastic waist, so it's very forgiving for the temporary time that I'm in a 4 rather than a 2, so it's all good. So what I was thinking I would do today is talk to you about art because I haven't done that yet. And, okay, so here's what happened. I was an excellent student. I was always in the smart classes in high school. And so when I was in 11th grade, they basically only sent me, like engineering schools would send me packets to go to college, and I didn't really know what that was. I mean, I was good at math and I was good at science, but to go to college for it, like, oh, God, maybe if I had, well, I wouldn't have had a pension, so whatever. It all works out. It's fine. But anyways, what ended up happening was I went to Syracuse University, which is what was always my dream from the time I was 4 years old. We moved from the city, and it's literally a road that was perpendicular to University Avenue. So we drove all the way up University, and at that time you could swing around and see the Hall of Languages and swing around that road, but it's closed now. It's only for pedestrians now. But back then, I said, oh, it looked like castles. And I said to my dad, what's that, Dad? Is that I didn't call him Daddy. I don't think I did. I was 4. I was like, what is that? Castle. And Dad goes, that's the university. I'm going to go there. So I always knew that I would get in. And I remember when I was talking to the guidance counselor, and he was new, like he had just started that year. So he didn't know me, but I had never gone to the guidance counselor in the first place anyway. So I meet this guy, and he says to me, what was your backup plan? I'm like, backup plan? I don't have one. I want to go to SU. Like, I'm going to go there. I'm a good student and whatever. And that was like one of the first times that I had a person warning me that I couldn't make my dreams come true. And I just hate that. I don't know why that had to happen or why I manifested that. That doubt. So creepy. So anyways, with that said, I was always a good artist. Um, my mom and my grandfather used to fight all the time. My mother was an only child, and her parents lived with us. And basically, grandma was like our real mother. So mean, but she really took care of us. And my grandfather and mom used to always have it out. And dad was always working, like always working. Um, you rarely saw him when we were children. So, anyways, I used to spend all the time in my bedroom, and I would draw and I would write stories, and so I knew that that's what I was going to do with my future, which is basically what I'm doing now, because I blog and I write on my blog, and I make art, and you know, I I have art shows and I sell my artwork. And so anyways, thank you, Diddle, my grandfather. Thank you, Mom, for fighting, because if you hadn't done that and you were like more loving towards, we would have, like, I wouldn't have, maybe I would be an engineer right now and not retired. So anyways, um, that's my life. So what I was going to do is I was going to talk about the three components in art, because one of the things that is different about art versus science or math is that there's a third component, and it's the best one. So here we go. The first component for making a good work of art or understanding art, or, this is basically like art criticism. So if you're criticizing artwork, this is how you do it. So the first thing is detail. So, in the case of realism, obviously the better it's drawn, or the more correct or more proficient you are as a drawer, the better. But then you go, well, what about an abstract work of art? Well, there's detail in that as well. So there could be detail with the brush stroke. There could be thick and thin lines. There could be direction, so there's a lot of detail that goes into any artwork. So, one of the reasons why Mona Lisa is a masterpiece is because it's not only a portrait, but it's also a landscape. So there's like a landscape background in there. And there's a lot of detail. So there you go. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the formal principles of art. So the formal principles of art, the way this TA, I guess she was, in graduate school, who was getting her PhD, she called it, I'm putting my 5 fingers up. She called it groove. So B was balance, R is rhythm, U is unity, V is variety, and E is emphasis. So there are ways to create these principles of art using the elements of art. So obviously balance is it could be symmetrical balance, it could be asymmetrical balance, and still be balanced. And that's about the mass that's on both sides of the paper, or in the case of sculpture, it's the mass that's keeping it balanced. So it's like legitimately balanced. It's gonna fall over. So rhythm is how the viewer's eye travels through the picture. And usually the viewer is picking out something. So it could be a line trail of some sort. It could be a color trail. It could be a texture trail. So you could have, it could be a shape trail. So like if you have a bunch of circles in your, let's look at this for a second, my shirt. So there's a bunch of hearts, right? So you see a lot of hearts, but then like some of them are the word coach. So my hand's backwards. This is a C, but it's also a heart. So, so basically the viewer is creating that, looking for things that are similar and things that are different, and then creating that rhythm. Unity, obviously, there's a bunch of hearts here. Variety would be that some of them are different, like this heart with the that's supposed to be the O has a heart in the center. It's the only one like that. So that's variety. And then emphasis is usually the first thing that you see, and a lot of times it's the biggest thing that you see. And every work of art has these things. Every single work of art has these things. And one time a student said, well, do all Do all artists know this? And the answer is yes, they do, especially if they are trained artists. There's always these people that are like, I'm self-taught. Well, you might have somehow like stumbled into um, intuitively doing this, but you don't know it. So, I'm kind of like, okay, don't mean to be superior, but sometimes when you're an educated artist, ugh, you're just like, oh brother, with these people. But Barbara Streisand didn't have any singing lessons, and she's a great singer, probably the best in the whole world and outer space and ever. So there you go. Anyways, what do you think the third component is? And I hate to. I thought there was a dirty spot on my face, but it's really on my computer screen. Sorry about that. I hate to like be all emo on you, but it's emotion, you know. So what I mean by that though is that all of this is in the viewer's eye. So the artist has to decide, what are they trying to do? What do they want to get out of their own artwork? Like what response do they want from the viewer? Do you understand? So there are things like taping a banana with duct tape to a wall that infuriates people. Like, I mean, people are like, that's not art, and they get so mad. Well, that's the emotion that they wanted to convey. Psych, you know what I mean? So that happens. Sometimes when you look at a work of art, it's soothing. Perhaps you love the color. Perhaps, I don't know if you can see, it's way back there, but I have a portrait of my cat back there that my friend Joyce made for me. And it's just breathtaking. It looks just like him. And what I love is when he is sitting up on the top of the couch. He's right in front of me right now, but he's right there. When you when you see him sitting next to it, and it's like this big head of him, and it's exactly him. And I love it. But like if you were not a cat lover and you didn't know my cat or even like my cat or like the color blonde, because he's a blonde cat, then you wouldn't like that painting. But and that is your opinion based on your emotion. So like, for example, hate to break this to you, but I don't really have an affinity for dogs. I told you last time about the whole, dogs on leashes and not being on leashes and all that kind of stuff. And that's like weird. So so I wouldn't particularly like a picture or an artwork that has a dog in it. I mean, I might. It really depends on what else is going on in the picture. So that's the emotion, and that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it, because everything is creation, And so I'm so glad that I am an artist. I'm so glad that I picked that, because everything that I've created for myself, I did it. I did it. And when I really, really think about, in terms of manifestation, what I really, really wanted in my life was I wanted my own place in the world. And I got it. So that's I'm so grateful for that. I mean, a lot of people, they want the experience of life, like experiencing childbirth or experiencing, I don't know what else, learning to drive, or I don't know what else, living in New York City, or, traveling. People have that desire, which I don't necessarily have. So, I mean, I love the idea that my artwork is enjoyed in people's homes. I love the idea that people will see my artwork in museums. I think that's like just amazing. Um, and I really love the idea that people from all over the world might be watching me on a video and being inspired in some capacity. I don't know. That could happen. Um, so, yeah. Where am I going with this? I don't know. So those are the three. Those are the three things: detail, formal principles, and emotion. So if your artwork has that, then you will be successful. Now, one of the things that happens, especially when you're teaching kids, is that I'm cold. I don't know why I'm wearing a t-shirt. I was wearing something else, and I started getting the armpit sweat, which wasn't pleasant. So I thought, oh, I'll wear a short sleeve shirt. Now I'm cold. That's fine. It's winter. I think the schools were closed today. I don't know why. The roads were fine, but that happens. They probably just have so many days that they can use, so they might as well use them. And sidebar, I'll tell you, it was March when we had the blizzard of 1993, and that was I want to say 4.5 feet of snow in one night. So that was weird. There were a lot of children born in 1994 because of it, because people didn't have their birth control, and then they were all like they didn't know what else to do, so they were having sex. So, anyways, yeah, I remember when I was teaching in 1994. I guess it was like my first year of teaching, and there were so many kids in a class. There was like over 30 kids in a class, and then that was in a different school. But then when I ended up the end of my career, I mean, I think I topped off it. I think there was 20 in one class, but a lot of my classes were like 12, or it was very doable. And it's like, why did I retire? Like, I don't even know. It was very fun and easy. So, but I don't miss it. I mean, I don't miss it. And I think the one reason is because it's lovely to indulge children and give them information that will help them along the way. But by the same token, you can't give up on your own dreams. And I feel like I wanted my own artwork to be successful. I wanted my own self to be successful too. And I just couldn't like pass over myself, not to be narcissistic, because I've had other people be narcissistic and pass over me that way on that side, and then to then be passed over again. It's not right. I think that we have to find our happiness first before we go and help other people. And hey, I'm not a nun, to just help people without feeling happy, because that wasn't the purpose. The purpose was art. The purpose was not babysitting. So there we go. Anyhow, I hope you are all well, and I hope this helped. And that was all I have to say about that. Tash Talk wise, hope you will subscribe. You don't have to. You don't even have to comment. I don't even know if you're watching. Sometimes I can see if there's views, but it's fine. I'm just happy to be here. Have a great evening. See, it's nighttime now. And I'll see you soon. Tash Talk. Karen at KarenTash.com. Check me out on my blog or my website. Maybe you can even look at my my artwork. Maybe you're a person who can facilitate an art show for me. That'd be great. I would love to have more space in my house so I can make more artwork, because my entire I mean, I don't know if you can see it. I can't turn it because it's plugged in, but my entire dining room table right now is just full of paintings. They look like little soldiers. They're on these table easels, and they're bagged up in an acetate sleeve so that they don't get dirty. Anyways, okay. See you soon.